Okay, so as promised, I'm going to cover the problems that were missed during enrichment. Starting with number 18, it says which statement about p of x is equal to -7 times 4 to the power of x is true? This is a domain and range question, so you can actually use a calculator to help you out. So you're going to type that equation. Oh, oh, way up here. We're going to type that equation into y equals right there, and then you're going to hit graph. That way you can sketch the graph. That one actually kind of went fast. Hold on. Let me type it in again. Times 4 to the power of x. But notice this is actually a graph that we actually haven't studied before. It's just lower though. This is something you can find the domain and range for. Okay. So notice that it's going down. This is where it's approaching your x-axis. So this is where you're going to find your y is 0. So negative infinity for x and 0 for your y. Now these are both going down. So negative infinity to negative infinity. I mean positive infinity for the x. Okay. So let's write the domain and range. The domain, you're going from negative infinity to positive infinity. So that's going to be all real numbers. Okay. Domain, all real numbers less than or equal to 0 or 4. That's not it. And then from there, you do the range. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that prematurely. Okay, now your y values are going from negative infinity to the 0. Remember, anywhere there it goes to 0, it's approaching the asymptote, so it's not actually touching. So negative infinity to positive 0. Oh, not underline, not underline. That means it's going to be all real numbers less than 0. All real numbers less than 0. Your answer is B. All right, number 24 is the next one. 24, 24, 24. That's, which one's 24? 23, 24. Actually, 24 is covered in another video. 25. Which quadratic? Okay. So vertex form can be represented by the vertex. Vertex is HK. You label the vertex as HK. Now, vertex form, the formula is on the formula chart. Let me grab it real quick. It's not. Okay. All right, so vertex form on your formula chart is here at the very bottom. Vertex form is A times x minus h squared plus k. Okay. So I can at least plug these two numbers in, right? But remember that the formula already has an existing negative. So when you plug in a positive, it stays as minus x minus 1 squared plus 46 for k. We come over here. There are two x minus 1s plus 46. Get rid of c and a. Now from there, to know whether it's positive 9 or negative 9, you can actually type this into your calculator and see which one contains 0.3, 10. So we're going to go back to our calculator. We're going to type in that next question. Go to y equals. Clear whatever you have out. We're going to type in 9 times x minus 1 squared plus 46. And if I go to the table, notice that one gives us 382. It does not give us 310. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and type in -9. And this one does contain 0.310. So D would be your answer. Okay. The next problem, that's 25 all the way to 31, 36, 33, 32, 31. 31 is a sequence. That is one that we actually just learned this week. Let's find it, 31. Now, the good thing about this one is it actually gives us the formula, so we can type that in. When you're typing these formulas in, first things first, you know that f of 1, meaning where x is equal to 1, is 27. So the first number in the sequence is 27. Get rid of those two. Now, from there, when you type this in, make sure you do not type in that f. That's just written in function notation form. So you would type it in as 1/3 times x minus 1. Actually, you would not type that in. Oh, snap. Remember, in your formulas, the only difference between those two, the arithmetic and geometric, is one has a plus minus sign and the other one is multiplying every single time. Let me see if I have my notes here. Let me grab my other notes. Sorry. All right. So in arithmetic sequences, in the recursive formula, you're going to see some form of plus sign that is separating your previous term with your common difference with the number that you're adding or subtracting. In geometric, you'll see the number that you are multiplying by with that previous term, value of the previous term. Okay. So if we're looking at the equation here, you can see that there is no plus or minus sign separating the values. So this one represents multiplication. So we are multiplying these numbers by 1/3 every single time. So if I take 27, multiply it by 1/3, it's the same as dividing by 3. It'll give me 9. If I take 9, multiply it by 1/3, it'll give me 3, and then so forth and so forth. So your answer is A. 32. 32, it tells you it is a quadratic function. So what you want to do is first look for that vertex. And to find the vertex, you look at your y values, look for that repeating pattern right there. So this is the one that represents the vertex, okay? Now, since your numbers are going up and then going back down, you know that you're looking at a quadratic function that looks like this, where the vertex is 3/2, 19/4. And these would be going down, negative infinity, negative infinity. This would be on the other side, so that is positive infinity. I'd imagine that your graph is somewhere over here. Negative infinity, positive infinity, negative infinity for the y values. Okay. Now we're only talking about the range. So we're only looking at y values. I'm going to highlight my y values here. So the smallest y value is obviously going to be the negative infinity. And then the highest y value is 19/4. And that would be a closed circle because it doesn't represent any other thing. Now, if you look closely, 3/2 is an x value anyway. So you should get rid of anything that represents an x value. And now from there, you didn't have to flip it. So it is less than or equal to 19/4. Number 33. Which expression is equivalent? Equivalent meaning equal, meaning they are the same and they will give you the same quadratic function, the same line, whatever. So for this one, you want to type this expression into y1 and your answer choices into y2. Okay. So we're going to start with answer choice A. I'm going to go to y equals, typing answer choice A, which is 2x plus 5 times 3x minus 2. Answer choice A is 17x minus 10. If I simplified this very top row, it should give me the same if they are equivalent, if they are equal. So that's what I get for answer for my question. That is the parabola that we're trying to copy. Notice it only copied, the red only came over that right side, but it didn't come over the left. So that means they are not completely equal. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Then we have 6x squared minus 10 is answer choice B. There's the question. And there's the answer choice. Notice they don't line up, so they're not equal. 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. That's answer choice C. And there's my answer. One line on top of the other. These two are equivalent right here. But the other way, the way we learned how to do it in class is just to do box method where you, or a FOIL, 2a and 5 and 3a minus 2. Multiply and then combine. Combine your diagonals, okay? Number 34. Ooh, all the way to 41. Number 34. Printer ink costs $18.99 per cartridge, and a company sells ink that charges a flat shipping rate. This is a linear function, meaning you're going to write this in y is equal to mx plus b form, right? Now it says total cost is t, so your total goes on this side. Go ahead and get rid of a and b. And then from there, c goes here. Now, to figure out the slope, remember your keywords are per, each, every, ratio, rate of change. But you do see that they're charging $18.99 per cartridge. And then they still charge a flat shipping fee of $7.95, so plus 7.95. So your answer is D. Number 35. Number 35, unfortunately, is one that you can't really type into the calculator. You actually have to know how to do it. I told you guys, we did an example where we were doing a basic example. So let's say we're multiplying 3/2 time, or we're dividing 3/2 by 4/5. When you first learned how to multiply fractions, you learned, or you should have learned, that you multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to flip this over to become 5/4. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 4 is 8. So that's your fraction. we're going to use the same concept right here. X to the power of 6, y cubed. Instead of dividing by x over 2, we're going to multiply by, let me do it in parentheses instead. We're going to multiply by x squared over y. When you multiply these, I'm going to put this over 1. You just multiply straight across. So if I'm multiplying straight across, when I'm multiplying 2 of the same power, according to laws of exponents, according to laws of exponents, multiplying 2 of the same power right here, you add the exponent. Oops. When you're multiplying 2 of the same power, you add the exponent right there. Okay. So I'm going to add 6 plus 2, which gives me x to the power of 8. Y cubed stays there, and then y times 1 is still y to the power of 1. Now we want to simplify this fraction right here. When you have the laws of exponents, quotient rule tells us when we're dividing 2 powers right here, when we're dividing 2 powers, you're going to subtract the exponents. So that's what I'm going to do with the y's. 3 minus 1 is 2. And we get x to the power of 8, y to the power of 2. X to the power of 8, y to the power of 2. Okay. Number 36. This year, students who participate in sports was 317. Each year, the number of students who participate in sports increases by 4%. Which function can model the situation? We're talking about increasing by a percentage. So this is an exponential. You can get rid of any equation that doesn't represent exponential. Now, your initial value is 317. Both of these have a 317. Where students always mess up is the increase decrease. Remember, when they give us a percent, you need to convert it to your factor. You need to convert it to the number that goes in the parentheses, which is 1 plus the rate. 4% as a decimal is 0.04. Now it does say we're increasing, so that's why we're adding instead of subtracting. That gives us 1.04, and that should be the number inside of the parentheses. So your answer is C. 37. 37 is when we did together as a group, just because it is a system of equations. I can't remember what the answer was though. So here we go. These are tables, any type of table you want to use stat edit. Okay. Because this is a system, the whole concept behind a system is you're trying to find the point of intersection. Okay. We're going to use stat edit to find the equation of these two lines and find where they cross, find where they intersect. Because all of these are in standard form, we have to use a different method. These are in standard form, so we have to use matrix to find the point of intersection with these, okay? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to use stat edit to find the equation of those lines, starting with the first table. I need to move this back. There we go, much better. So the first line, stat edit, -11, -6, -1, 4, 81. Okay. Stat calc, number 4, down to store, alpha trace, enter, enter, enter. And that is the first equation of the line. Y is equal to negative 6x plus 15. Okay. Now I'm going to do it for the second one. Stat edit. Negative 9, negative 4, 1, 6, 18, 3, negative 7. Oh man, didn't even pay attention to the fact that I did that. Right? Okay. So then I go back to stat, calculate. Number 4. Here's a little trick. When you're doing alpha trace, because I need both equations in y equals, I'm just going to put the second one into y2. All right, negative 3x minus 9 is going to be the next equation. Y equals negative 3x minus 9. Now I want to find where they intersect. So I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to go to y equals. My camera's frozen. That's not good. Oh, it's been doing that. That's great. Let me open it back up. Any day now. Okay, here we go. Now notice they're both in y1 and y2. So we hit graph. Make sure you can see the point of intersection first. And you can tell that they're going to intersect, but you can't see where. So we're going to zoom out. When you use the zoom out, make sure you push enter or it will not zoom out. Did I push zoom in? I think I did. Zoom 3, sorry. If you don't wait for it to finish graphing, wait for that little wheel to go away. It'll mess up. So I'm gonna push it again. Here we go. Now I should be able to see where they cross. Right there. Now I can press second trace, option 5 for intersection. And then once that first question pops up right here, push enter, enter, enter. So they intersect at 8, negative 33. Now I have to do matrix with these answer choices to figure out where they intersect. Okay, so now we're gonna go, oh, I don't need this anymore. Second matrix. Second matrix. Always start in edit. Make sure it's 2 times 3. 2 equations, 3 numbers each. The very first equation is 1. You only type in the coefficients. And then 1, negative 3, 27. I hope this one's it. So we go back into matrix. Move over to math. Go up to BREF, the one with 2 R's. And back into matrix one more time. Enter, enter. I forgot to do second quit. I'm so sorry. After you edit your screen, the number 1 forgotten step, which is what I forgot to do, is press second quit to go back to the home screen. Then you go back into matrix and do BREF and all that good stuff. Back into matrix one more time, enter, enter. So these 2 lines intersect at 144.39, which is not what I wanted. 144.39. I guess let's do the next one. Okay. It's okay. There's a shortcut. 1691 positive 3 negative 27 negative 27. All right, second quit. Didn't forget it this time. Now, if you're doing a problem where you're gonna have to do matrix multiple times, you can always highlight it, push enter again. There it is. Negative 144.39. Negative 144.39. So that's not my answer. Just my luck. It's probably going to be D. I can't remember what the answer was, or else I would have gone straight to it. 6, negative 1, negative not negative 15, 3, negative 1, 9. Second quit, negative 8, negative 33. It was my luck. Okay. Last one, second matrix. 6, 1, 15, 3, positive 1, negative 9. Second quit. There it is, 8, negative 33. So yeah, it's a lot of tedious work, but if you use a calculator tricks, it makes it less. This one, the function of x squared was transformed to create x minus 3 minus 9. So you can type this in, but because of the x squared, when you type this in, and if you get rid of the f, you have to type it in as x minus 3 squared minus 9 because this is in vertex form. And once again, looking back at vertex form, there is a squared, right? Notice you have parentheses, so there's the squared. So make sure when you type it into y equals, you use the squared. So the original formula was x squared, and it changed to x minus 3 squared minus 9. So x squared, x minus 3 squared minus 9. Gotta pause my video real quick. Oh my gosh. Somebody's at my door. Man, I lost my place, but I just noticed this is vertex form. All it wants is the coordinates of the vertex. So since this is vertex form on the formula chart is written as x minus h squared plus k. Okay. So that lets you know that the 3 is your h and the 9 is your k. But 9 is negative, so that's a negative 9. Now, I guarantee you a lot of people are going to mess up on this minus sign right here. It's already a minus sign in the formula, so that means originally you had to plug in a positive 3 to get that. So your vertex is 3, negative 9. Now, if you can't get that, you can type it into your calculator. I'm going to get rid of that one because all we need to know is what are the coordinates of the vertex. I can see my vertex right here. So I'm going to press second calculate. And this is a minimum. So I'm going to press number 3. Remember, your star always starts on the y-intercept, which the y-intercept here is 0, 0, just in case you ever need to know that. Go to the vertex, and now we need to go to the left of the vertex right here. So I'm going to go to the left side, move over to the right, enter, and there's my vertex, 3, negative 9. Okay. Next one, 37, 38, 39. Which expression is equivalent? Once again, you have one of those that say equivalent. So you can type these into the calculator, see which one gives you the same. Now, because you have two different variables, just type them both in as x, okay? You would have 24xx. You would have minus 12x squared, 18x. Not even a big deal. So let's type those in. So in y1, I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to put what's in the question, 24xx minus 12x squared plus 18x. And then over here, 6x times 4x minus 12x plus 18. See if it gives me the same graph. It does not. So that is not my answer. The next answer choice is 12x times 2x minus 12x plus 18. Original. New, so that's not it either. The next one is 6x times 4x minus 2. And there it is. Notice how the red came right after the blue. So that means that my answer is C. But just so you can see this done the long way or by hand, this is just your distributive property, okay? Where you take the number in front of the parentheses and multiply. So we're going to take 6g multiplied by 4h. 6 times 4 is 24. G times h is gh. 6 times negative 2, negative 12. G times g, g squared. 6 times 3 is 18. G, because don't forget that one. And there you have it. Okay. Up to you. That's just showing you some calculated tricks in case you don't remember. Here we go. This one. What is the cost per click on website one? Per should be a keyword for slope. They want us to find the slope for website one, meaning we don't need website two. So if I condense or rewrite my table, it would be 1525, 94.15, and 121.15. You can find the slope using your calculator. Good old stat edit. Let me put the points in first. 1525. Okay. From there, you go back to stat, calculate. Now we did learn how to use 3 different options here, but slope is strictly associated with linear. So press number 4 and always press alpha trace. And your answer is, oh, it gives you 2.7, so $2.70 per, wrong one, per click. Last question that was requested. This one, I'm just going to show you straight calculator trick because it was a long one. It is actually on another video if you want to see it done by hand, but here we go. They want to know what are the solutions. Other words for the solutions are your roots, zeros, and those all represent your x-intercept. Okay, so you have an equation that is solved for y. You can put that into y equals. From there, you want to get the decimal version, and I do remember this answer, the answer for this one was A. You want to get the decimal version of these numbers right here. This is going to be the fastest way to solve this question. So I'm going to type in that first answer choice, clear this out. Negative 16 plus 2 square root 2. And then negative 16 minus 2 square root 2. Those are the decimal versions of both of those answer choices. So I'm going to write those down. The first one gave me negative 13.17. And this one gave me negative 18.82. So I'm going to come to my calculator, type this into y equals, type the question into y equals, which is x squared plus 32x plus 248. From there, I'm going to hit graph. Actually, I want to go back to a regular window. So Zoom 6. Zoom 6 changes your window back to like the standard window, your normal 10 by 10. Oh, it didn't fit. So I had to zoom out. 3, enter. Well, isn't that great? Okay, now that I can see my x-intercepts right here, I'm going to calculate what they are. So second trace, number 2. I know that my little star is somewhere on the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0 to 48. So it's way up there. I'm gonna have to bring it back down. And I need to move it to the left. Oh, there it is. That was quick. I'm going to start on my left x-intercept. Put it on the intercept, but then you still have to go left side of it. So because your star goes up and down, just make sure you're pressing your left arrow key. This time it's going to go up, then go to the right side of it, and it gives you negative 18.82, which matches with this x-intercept right here. Now I have to calculate the next one. Second trace, number 2 again. Remember, we're calculating the zeros, we're calculating the x-intercepts, so that's why I'm using option 2. I'm going to move it to the other side. Still got to go to the left side of it. So I'm going to press my left key. This time it went down, but that's okay. I know for a fact I pushed my left key, push enter. It'll clock it in, then push enter, and then enter again because we never guess. Negative 13.17, which matches this one. So your answer was A. Okay. If you need videos on any other questions on this benchmark, please let me know and I'll make it. Ooh, ooh. Where's my, here it is.